Hello, Internet. So, tonight we are going to try and build an ore processing system in Omnifactory. And just to show exactly what I'm doing, and you can scream about this, I found this kind of awesome guide down in Reddit, and it's by this guy X-Cipher that seems to use a series of machines to process all our ore. So, I'll put the link in the show description, but we're going to give it a try and see if we can do it. So I have all of my stuff, or I should have all of my stuff, over in a chest. I don't think I'm going to need any of this except for that. Or a crate. So we have a lot of stuff. We have a bunch of flux capacitors for power. We've got that type of wrench, a crowbar, a screwdriver. We've got our machines, we've got conduit, we've got some CEVs somewhere around here. So hopefully we're going to be good to go. So let's get started and lay out the machines. Let's see, we got the ore washer, let's see, 2 macerators, a washing plant, a centrifuge, and well, I guess we're missing a packer, but that's okay. We can add the packer later. So let's start laying it out. We're going to put down a macerator, and then we will put down an ore washing plant, another macerator, centrifuge, and the packer will go here. And that's 4 items, so that works pretty nice. So let's just take this brick out. Since we don't really need it anymore, take an MV. So these are all the advanced machines. They're all medium voltage. And so I have 4 machines and a 4-slot CEF that is MV. So we're going to pop that right there. Pick that one up. And that should give us enough power. Get a couple of flux capacitors. We've been using flux capacitors to store our power because then we can drop them into our inventory and hot swap them and keep all of our armor charged. So that's nice. So let's get some power, which might be hard to see, but I think we can tie in from the ceiling. So let's just go straight up. Hey, look at that. Pop. Let's turn on some night vision. That'll make life easier. Hey. So, we're charging that now. Let's get some conductive iron. We have copper. I'll do copper. Ramen happily built most of this stuff for me while I was out mining. Okay, let's hope I don't explode it. Or put it in the right place. Okay, everyone's happy and powerful. Oh, we put elevators in. Haha. Let's get a wire cutter. Oh, we have AE running. Ramen, that's ramen over there. We got our AE up and running not too long ago. Let's take out that spare cable. Okay, so now we get into the fun stuff. We need to do a lot of machine configuring here, and I am probably going to mess this up a few times, so we'll see what happens. But we need a wrench, we need item filters. Let's see here. So let's talk about this a little bit. These robot arms and conveyors can be used as covers on GregTech blocks to move stuff in and out, put it in chests, and move it around. The screwdriver lets you access the cover once it's on. The wrench lets us tell the machine where to put stuff. And the crowbar lets us take a cover off without breaking the machine. And I just like having crescent hammers. So, here we go. Step 1 is going to be getting our ore into the first macerator. And then I want an empty hand for some of this. I don't need my satchel. So I want to make sure it outputs its stuff. Take my Yeta wrench. Nope, that was the wrong way. Oh, I need a normal wrench, or a GregTech wrench. So many wrenches. One thing I wish modpack authors would do, not have so many wrenches. Yeta wrench is for Ender, not for this. Okay, so iron wrench. Yay! And so you'll see it's orange. Orange matches orange. Huzzah! Now we don't need to put anything on that, but we are going to have an output chest back here for extra stuff. So let's just get some output chest platforms. And I'm going to use crates for the output because they're easy. And I'm placing all this in order for... Yep, good job, me. Great job. Op success. Well done. They have to go in the holes for reasons that will soon be obvious. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are going to hold the stuff that can't go to the next step in the chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Huzzah. Okay, so we need to configure all of this before we dump our chest here. So what we want to do is put a conveyor cover on this. Let's see here. So there's an input. There's a conveyor module. And let's get the screwdriver. Put our OR dictionary filter in, and we want the macerator to, we want this to import, and we want it to pull anything that is crushed and is an ore. Huzzah! And now we are going to put, I think, a chest here. And on the chest we are going to put a conveyor. I might need a different chest. I might need a steel or bronze chest. Can I put a conveyor cover on? That just got very interesting. See, nothing survives contact. Okay, so we need probably bronze or steel chests. So, not titanium, not stainless, steel, bronze, wood, bronze, bronze plates. I need to make bronze, alloy smelter, copper and tin. Is there another recipe? Can I just do copper and straight tin? Copper and tin, great. So I need a lot of this. Excitement. Hopefully that's enough. Alloy smelter, where did you go? This might take a while. Although I think I'm going to get 4 to go. And 4 to go means it'll take... Let's see, I need 4 chests. So we're going to let that just run for a little bit. And we're going to remove you with my axe, not my lumber axe. Haha. Let's see. Okay, cool. So the reason I need to use one of these other chests is they need to accept the conveyors. Without the conveyors, this whole thing kind of falls apart because you need the conveyors to do the fancy or dictionary filters. We could potentially try to do something with Ender.io, but I think it is cost prohibitive right now. Plate, copper, bronze. So hopefully we can get this first bronze chest in place. And and get this process rolling. Okay, so let's try again. Bronze chest. And now we want to put a conveyor on it. Ah, see, it's giving us the right thing. Okay, this is good. We can see that little outline. So, let's throw a conveyor on it. And let's make it export, item filter. And we're going to blacklist this, so it's going to take anything that is not crushed. Great. So, macerator takes stuff, pumps it here, sends crushed stuff to there, or sends crushed stuff to the washing plant, and sends other stuff there. So let's just grab some ore and see if it's working. Up you go. Ore. Apatite ore? Sure. Let's do a stack of apatite to test this out, because we're going to need that for stuff. So, boom. Look at the speed. Look at that speed. The most exciting part of a YouTube video, watching this speed. Okay, so it sent crushed stuff here. Well, it's sending the crushed ore. Do I have this configured correctly? Oh. It's got a conveyor. But it won't. Oh, do I have to really see the centerpiece? There we go. Crushed, import, oredict, whitelist. It should be working. Oh, it is. It's working. Okay. We just need to give it some water. Sorry, you can see it's got the apatite ore. So now let's just run. Oh, that could end badly. Some random tanks just hanging out over here. Okay, so I've got over here an endervore, which just makes a nice steady trickle of liquids. I don't know why that wall cuts in, but we'll fix that later if I need to. And that's a pressurized fluid conduit. I love ender cable. Fine pickaxe. Do I need to wrench you with the Yeta wrench just to make you connect? Sure. Oop. Okay. Oh my. Well, let's just get the whole thing connected. Macerator. There we go. Washing plant. Okay. Oh, wrong button. And connect. Empty that hand. Boom. We are washing. Now, let's make that an output. And go get some of that. There we go. Let's start plating you up. So I meant to have all the supplies on hand, but obviously that did not work before I started. We don't need these chests. Don't need those. And one more bronze chest. Okay, so step 2. We are going from the ore washer to the next macerator, and this time we're doing pretty much the same thing, but we want to make this purified ore in this spot. So that can be as is. That is going to get a conveyor. Clink. And let's screw drive it. Import. purified, and a whitelist. And then we'll take our chest, pop it down, and oh, that's right, it's easier if I do it this way. Click, screwdriver, export, blacklist, purified, and put our crate right there. So let's see. Hey, look, we're getting some dust over here. Ah. And here we will. Looks like that's working. Yeah, that looks like. Yes, okay, so it fills this way anyway. Yeah. Oh. So that's. Tiny pile stone dust, tiny pile purified. I must have this set up wrong. Export purified blacklist. Now that's purified. You know what the problem is? Regex. Regex is the problem. Purified. Need to have a capital P. And let's test it. Great. Oh, silly me. This is why I made a crowbar. So I don't have to break the whole thing. Always have an open hand. Okay, we're getting purified, purified. Do I need to make it accept things? Allow input. Well, that's working. Crunch. So now we've got more purified, so we're going to have to do one more round of processing over here. So output. Automatically output it. Have an input. Accept inputs. Come upstairs. Check for plates. I got plenty. One. Now let's get two, just because we're going to need that eventually. Okay, so we need, for the next step, so now we are going to the centrifuge. And we're just going to do another set of conveyors into the centrifuge. So we need to put a conveyor on there, and it's going to get the ORDICT filter, and it is going to import, and it is a whitelist, and it is going to get per. According to the guy who wrote this guide, per was the only term that seemed to work with the wildcards here, so. Oh, well, that is certainly working. Now we need to put one more conveyor here. Export. Blacklist. Per. Awesome. Okay, so we've gone all the way to the centrifuge. So the last step is going to be a packaging machine. No, I might have been given it earlier, but I could be wrong. Whoa, certified packaging machine? Packaging machine. No advanced packaging machine there. Let's see it there. do not have an advanced packaging machine yet, so that'd be the last step. And then we would use a robot arm, I believe, so that we can configure it to do that. Essentially, we want to take the robot arm to get all of the tiny piles of phosphor dust and pull 9 at a, or tiny piles, pull 9 at a time, and put them into a packager so that it can essentially just turn them into a pile of dust instead of a tiny pile of dust, so you end up all with dusts. So what we should end up with here, and we could attach this to the ME system, is our final thing. Oh, helps to put a crate there, huh? Now I think if we look here, we have these tiny piles. I think he mentions that you can go from the macerator in some cases if you're high enough tier. The second macerator might create outputs that you could shoot all the way down to here. And so the way we would do that is run some ender, let's see, there's the second macerator, so we would just run some item conduit right over to here and just dump it in. Is that centrifuge? We'd dump it past the centrifuge. We'd dump it wherever this chest would be. So if I get a chest and plop the chest down, so we get that, so we could send forward any tiny piles basically from this second macerator, or anything else really. If we get tiny piles anywhere, we could just send it all the way down to the packager that's going to go here. So just to reiterate, we dump our initial ore in the macerator. It spits out the crushed ore into this chest. Anything that is not crushed ore goes into here. So we get our dusts. Then our crushed ores get sent to a washing plant where they get cleaned up and sent over here. Anything that is not purified gets pumped out into this crate. Anything that is purified goes into the macerator. We'll see it. Oh, it's chunking out as fast as it can. I don't know if that's working correctly. We've got phosphor dust. Oh. I thought it made a sign. Oh, here we go. And it all just processes. Oh, centrifuge. It's freaking me out. I swear to God, it's been animating, hasn't it? Oh, there it goes. I wonder if it's just super fast. If we just wait a minute, we might see it. Yes, no, there it goes. Super fast, awesome. And then at the end, we're getting all of this loveliness. So here, what I need to do is I need to chop this duder down. Get one more conveyor. Is this the conveyor? Or is this the tiny? Ah, this is conveyor. Okay, we'll throw a conveyor. Configure it. This gets anything that is not tiny. Export, blacklist anything that is not tiny. And pow, and bam. Look at that. So we're just missing the packer. Very nice. So yeah, and then we can just replace these machines once we get high voltage, extreme voltage, blah, blah, blah. And a very nice little automated ore setup. So I will put, again, the Imager album that this guy wrote up for this in the show notes. I hope this was helpful. Again, you need these 4 machines plus a packer. You need, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You need 7 or 8 conveyors, 1 or 2 robotic arms. You need a bunch of these ore dictionary filters. I built extras. These require olivine, and we actually found out there's a machine here, the advanced cutting machine. If you give it water and an olivine block, you get 9 plates, and those plates are what go into these filters. So it's actually shockingly economical for this stage, and is much cheaper than any of the other options. Yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed it. This is going to hopefully open up a lot more advancement in the automation, and talk to you next time. Good night.